Twitter. Uwe Boll just exposed himself as the world's biggest fucking thundering dumbass today. The same day the House of the Dead episode came out. I can't believe that. The same day.
I did not even realize that. That's perfect.
Yup.
It's so
Synergy.
dumb.
He apparently thinks that the Rampage IP belongs to him and only him, and that Warner Brothers is shrinking his brand and threatening, quote, his IP, and he's threatening legal action because he's a fucking buffoon.
Well, I mean, Connor, you're discounting the fact that when people hear Uwe Boll, they think Hollywood Titan. They think powerhouse behind the screen.
He actually just put something else up. I think it was a tweet. And it said, like, blah, 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 Aussie nerds saying 1985, 1985, 1985. Who cares? I'm coming for my money. I'm like, you just don't get it, do you? Like, it's not yours. Like,
it's never been his money.
If anything, there are confused old men going to red boxes and looking for Rampage and renting his movie accidentally.
Also, someone tweeted him like every single movie called Rampage in the last 20 years. There's like 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Excluding his.
That's
Anyway, hi, I'm Connor McGraw. Welcome to the 3-man episode of Phantom Zone.
Yeah. This is the Three Musketeers, as we'll call it.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, Arlen Harrow here, as usual, dying.
Does that make Hunter D'Artagnan?
I mean...
I think would he be the man in the Iron Mask?
I can't remember which one of us is younger. I can't remember if he's younger or if I am. I think... So it might be me. I don't know.
He's going to be 23 soon, I thought, is what he had put up. So
I'm going to be 24 in May.
That makes Alan or Chris the man in the Iron Mask.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely Chris.
Well, I mean, the man in the Iron Mask also has Prince Louis XV as a brother, so maybe they're secret siblings, and that's why they fight so much. You never know.
Oh, that would make sense. Oh, hey, I'm Erik Fedorchak.
Yeah.
This is this week's CW review, and Arrow was dumb this week.
Okay, good. I'm not.
Yeah.
Arrow was dumb in ways that, like, I don't expect the show to be dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, normally it's dumb. It's like, whatever. But this was dumb. Like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
I was saying to Arlen when we were chatting before we started recording that it just flowed through me and over me. Like it was like Paul Atreides' litany on fear. I really don't remember much of anything that happened because it wasn't an episode for me either. Like this was definitely a payoff for prior plot lines.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like, why did you bring back Roy if you're just gonna have him mope around and get sucked around for 45 minutes?
Because he's gonna be in the Arsenal costume, man. That's so. Yeah, the episode as a whole didn't really work, and we'll just do this on there. What was your ranking, Connor? Because I never got it.
It was Black Lightning Legends Arrow.
Okay, that's we all agreed on this, so that's pretty crazy. Well, since we already started, let's just do Arrow first because why not?
God, stupid. Like, I'm also like, okay, at this point, you have now removed Dinah. Oh fuck, Mr. Terrific's real name. Shit.
Oh, I don't care. Curtis.
Curtis.
Yes.
Curtis. I don't care about those characters anymore because they've made them so.
That's my point. They have separated them so hard from the main like junction of the show that it might as well be a spin-off.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything.
No, they aren't.
Nope.
It's really.
Nope.
And Renee was Poochie temporarily.
Yeah.
And beyond them not doing anything, they made them wholly unlikable.
Yeah.
There was no redeeming quality to them being like, we don't like the way Ollie is doing this. Like, there are ways to handle that, and they did none of them.
Yeah, the only one who was like, okay, maybe this has gone a little too far was Curtis.
Yeah.
And then after that, he's like, nah, fuck them. Like,
Yeah, we don't want anything to do with you guys. Bye. Like, okay, cool. Like
I said in our chat, Katie Lotz has been announced to be on the season 6 finale.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hoping she just walks in as Sarah Lance and just scruffs Dinah and scruffs not Laurel by the neck and just takes him out and puts him by the curb with trash cans.
Yeah.
And says, no.
It just or shakes them and says like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Just smacks him around like a mama cat.
Yeah. She carries him out by their scruff with her mouth. No.
But I don't know. I'm not into lingering League of Assassins plot lines because one, that's like one of the more maligned arcs of the show.
Yeah.
Well, and that was the thing. Like before I started even watching Arrow, like I had heard the League of Assassins stuff was actually okay, and seeing this, I was like, no, I mean, that couldn't have been true. Or whatever they're called, not the League of Assassins.
No, so they are the League of Assassins, but this is okay. So we've had 3 different Leagues of Assassins at this point, and it's really
this is what happens when you clone a clone of a clone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great, good.
Because these are devoted Malcolm followers. These are like the Lions and Lion King 2. That was a Lion King 2 reference that nobody acknowledged. Okay, then.
I've never seen it.
I understood the source. Right. But you're the first person I think I've ever met who's like, yeah, that thing from Lion King 2.
I grew up with Lion King 2, so we're really seeing the age difference here. Aren't we, Erik?
Shut up. You were when you were saying like, oh yeah, when old men are gonna go to Redbox and look for Rampage. God damn it. God damn you. Anyway.
But yeah, this is the third version of the League of Assassins or whatever. So yeah, this is, I don't know. I'm bored of the League of Assassins. And Condra's not wrong. It's not the worst storyline because Damian Dark exists, but it wasn't done well at all when it happened, and it got stale really quickly. And yeah, like wrapping that stuff up, it's not fun because it just reminds me of those previous times we visited it. So
also, was this like Thea's exit from the show? Because that would suck.
I think it is.
That blows.
Like,
from what I was reading, it was supposed to be.
Yeah, like at least Slade went out cool. Like
this is an anticlimax.
Yeah, I guess like maybe they're leaving it open so she can come back again, or be on Legends at some point. Which
the catch-all.
I mean, I don't know.
Legends is the fucking safety net beneath all of these shows.
Seriously, like it feels like, all right, you don't know how to use that person, bring them over here. We'll embrace them with a nice warm hug and give them something to do.
Yeah. And like you bring back Roy just to have him like he gets beat up, and then this whole episode he's either looking sad, being passive aggressive, or getting thrown around by somebody. He was absolutely useless.
He really didn't need to be there at all.
No, he didn't.
You almost could have made this whole episode just Thea and Roy, and Nissa. And
also,
would have been
I'm
more
sorry, but his arsenal he looked like a fucking mall cop with a bow and arrow.
God damn it! Yeah, he did.
He looked like someone I'd beat up in a video game.
Yeah.
It was like the jacket Diggle doesn't wear anymore. Here's a hat. Fuck off.
What do we have left over?
Speaking of Diggle, and this is actually speaking of Curtis and Dinah and the absentee Renee, boy, am I over forced team drama and conflicts, because there was a tease in this episode that's going to lead to next week, which I've already heard, is going to be another conflict between Diggle and Ollie over who's the fucking Green Arrow. I'm like, why does this argument even exist? You are fabricating, there doesn't need to be an issue there.
Also, okay, Diggle is not delusional, okay? At least not now. He's not at this point delusional. What part of his head makes him think that when he was the Green Arrow, that worked because he was just a bamf. What part of it makes him think that wasn't because he also had a team behind him? Because he did. That's why that worked. It was him plus the team. It was not just him as the Green Arrow.
I would say he didn't do jack shit as the Green Arrow. He fired his cool crossbow once, and that was...
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Occasionally a boss fight would happen, then he would show up, and it would be pretty good. But that's all. Like, that's all he added to the team. Ollie did a lot of it, actually, because he was, watching from the sides or whatever, watching from the computer, being like a coach, basically.
That was something you had said in a prior episode, Arlen, when we were talking about how much we like Diggle as Arrow. You're like, yeah, but he only really worked because he actually had a team.
Yeah.
And that's I think the strongest point that anybody can make is that, yeah, the only reason he worked was because we actually cared about the other characters he was interacting with. Now it would just be him and Ollie, because who's left?
Yeah, the writers have like seemingly maliciously whittled this entire unit down to a handful of people, and then you're gonna make them bicker between each other?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, because they have to.
That's fucking terrible.
They have to take up space before the team comes back together to take on Diaz, and it's like.
But I don't see any way they can actually. I mean, not that realism is something they're too concerned about, but how they can realistically do this and make it seem like, oh yeah, that makes sense why they all got back together.
Oh, I know, but they'll still do it. Because
well, yeah, I get that.
The plot is there. We have to serve the plot. Don't you understand? There's. It's really annoying. That's where things are going, and I know that's where they're going. But this is treading water until they can bring the team back together. Me and Erik, we were talking before the chat once again, and I was saying it's amazing that Legends is over. In next week and the week after, it's done. That's it.
Yeah.
No more Legends.
This happened last season too.
Right.
They came in with a stellar season, and their season was the perfect length.
Yep. Perfect length. There was fat. None.
And it was it was a straight line of momentum all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And this one wasn't as consistent, but it's still great.
Yeah.
It's been fun, and that's the thing that I feel like all the other shows are missing.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah, Black Lightning is following a similar track where, so far, I have no problems with Black Lightning. Lightning, it might win when we do Zonies, Zonies 2. When we do that at some point, it's that good, and it's so streamlined. There's no fat, there's no treading water, and it makes me think Arrow and Flash need to change. Very clearly, they need to do something different, because trying to support 22 episodes is something that these writers clearly can't do while producing other shows. And Supergirl should also take this change. Not
even
with to see it.
If there was no Flash this week, so I mean, we're not gonna. It's not like we have a pivot to go into, but even Zoom was his presence loomed over the whole season,
right?
Just like Reverse Flash did, and since then, that hasn't been felt.
Yeah.
Because season 3 was Dr. Alchemy, ha, no.
No, because we changed our mind halfway through.
Yeah.
Which
then Savitar came and went and came and went and came and went, and they dragged his identity out into the last 2 episodes, and we're like, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how much is Kreisberg involved with Arrow? I mean, he was the showrunner for all of these shows, correct?
So my understanding was always that Kreisberg was more Flash involved, and Guggenheim was more Arrow involved.
Okay.
It's Berlanti's at the top. Those two really deal with the shows overall and do the day-to-day work, and then there are showrunners on each show.
Okay.
And these guys sort of oversee the showrunners.
So maybe the Kreisberg stuff did fuck some stuff up.
I think it did.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
because it's just Guggenheim. Just like he's just riding a bike back and forth, like.
He's like that guy that Warner Brothers and DC said was in charge of the entire DC universe of movies. So he's just like, you do all this.
No, excuse me. No.
Yeah, it's like he's got 5 phones. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
There's just people sticking selfie sticks with phones attached to them, like in his face, and he's like, "What? Yes, no, okay, yeah, next one."
His office is just a bar on the corner of the lot.
He gives arrow notes to the Legends team, and he gives. It's like, it's like they need to do something, and they need to lighten the load. If that's the case, if Guggenheim's going to be in charge of 4 or 5 shows from now on, something needs to change.
On the note you're saying, Arlen, like I think that's the biggest weakness of some of these shows is that they're overextending themselves. Like if they did a tight 12, it would be perfect.
Yeah, like, I agree totally. And that's what they should do.
Like the Flash is treading into the water that people like to make fun of CW for.
Yeah.
Which is, and I'm sorry, Riverdale might have had a good first season. I still haven't watched it. But right now, the ads for that show make me want to vomit.
Insufferable.
They are some of the most pretentious, self-indulgent, whiny Twilight nonsense I have been subjected to. Like, the fucking Jughead one where he's staring in his locker and he's like, "I don't fit in. I don't fit in."
So those are the ads that I've been telling you about. Those are those weird-ass ads that are... It's like, what the hell? What are you doing?
The newest batch of ones are the ones where they're all like they have their reflection and their reflection is doing something different, and I know nothing about the show other than look, it's that show that's based on the Archie comics.
It's Archie meets Twin Peaks. Like that's what it is.
But they're trying too hard.
At first I thought I wanted that, and the more promotional material I see from it, I'm like, oh my god, go the fuck away.
Yeah. The promo materials aren't good at all. And like I stopped watching it because that show moves through plot the way that CW shows used to move through plot. In the way that like
quickly.
Yeah, like very quickly, where it would be like, oh, we're at episode 8 and they're already doing Eobard-a-thon. That's fucking crazy, and they're already hinting at time travel, and like we're not even like 10 episodes in. That's insane. Like going for it, but like they'd set up what would be a season-long plot in like the first episode of Riverdale, and then they'd finish it in like 2 episodes. Like that's how efficient the show is, and I actually like that quite a bit. Like if you watch it, you're amazed by how quickly.
Comparatively speaking, I would rather take that quick pacing over what we've been subjected to now.
Yeah.
When was the last time? I don't remember what the fuck the Thinker was doing last time I saw him.
I don't know either. I don't
remember the last time I saw Diaz. Where the fuck did he go?
And like I'm just now having like war flashbacks of porn Sauron and knowing that we have to deal with that in a couple weeks. Like I don't care. Like like you said, Diaz. What's Diaz doing? Like, what is he? Like he said, he wants to control the city.
He's hanging out in his fight club,
right? Doing Pacino impressions.
He's recruiting.
Jesus Christ! That's the thing that I think I've been most disappointed from watching these shows, or at least for the season, has just been there's been times of like utter brilliance, like the way they reveal something, like the Diaz reveal at the end of that episode of Arrow was so great. And they did nothing after that. And even Arrow, like there have been like, oh my god, the Thinker, this is going on, awesome. Nothing. Or they get rid of the character who was playing the Thinker and replace it with all these different people.
With several different actors, all giving inconsistent performances. All bad.
All of them are bad. Like not even half
when
of
they
them
were
are
auditioning,
bad.
did they say like, all right, here's the guy who's playing the Thinker, do an impression of him, and if they could do a somewhat decent impression with like you're hired.
I don't think they did that because like no one's performance has been the same.
But they all have a bad like version of his voice that they do, and that is the only thing they focus on.
It's so dumb,
and because you're getting how many bodies we're up to? We're at 4 now, right?
I think we're at 4. Yeah.
You're passing a filter through a filter through a filter through a filter. Like
So dumb.
you're getting diminished returns because you're relying on different people's interpretation of a character throughout one season. Like Harrison Wells is one thing because there's a reason for it, because they're from different Earths with different backgrounds and blah blah. This is essentially the same person in different bodies, and yet each time the performance is just hamstrings the entire thing.
It's Purple Monkey Dishwasher. It's Whisper Down the Lane.
Yeah.
At this point, I would have scrapped this idea because I feel like I know what happened. They came up with this idea of the bodies would switch every few times, and they thought that was going to be really cool when they were writing it. They cast this guy, and he's fucking great, and they don't have the forethought to say, oh, this guy is really good, and none of our recasts are going to be as good as this guy. We should find a way to keep him around. I'm
just going to quote Frisky Dingo in regards to this entire storyline. And that quote is, "And you don't have the budget to play with the big dogs." Row, 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 row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
We kind of devolved into just the CW overall, which is fine, I guess.
Well, I think Arrow and Flash are having the same problems right now.
Yeah.
Their villains are not engaging. They're picking up plot points, then dropping them, and then picking them up a few episodes later. And you're supposed to keep, you're supposed to be able to chug along. And I mean, Flash, the best episode of the season so far has been that episode with Jay and Jesse, and it had nothing to do with the central plot of the season.
Well, Flash isn't even, again, like Arrow's just treading water. Flash is not even trying to swim. It's not even attempting to. Like, they put out that episode with the nuclear bomb as a one-off, but none of the episodes about the actual plot of the season have meant anything since the mid-season finale. Yeah, like, it just, nothing matters. Nothing is important. We talked about it when the trial happened. That trial should not have taken an episode. What the hell? I said it then. Do a compelling legal drama, and we will watch it. We will wait for the person to show up in the suit. It's like I've said many times. You don't need the people to be in the costume. I get it. There were all those years where you would have a superhero show, and for 50 minutes no one would be in a costume, and then in the last 5 minutes someone would be in a costume to save the day. I get it. I get why that's a bad thing and why we want to avoid it. But that doesn't mean that you need to put someone in a costume every minute of every single show. And the choices that are being made are not being made in the service of story. They're being made in the service of, well, we have 22 episodes and we have to make 22 episodes. And we can't diverge from that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
how many episodes of Flash are left?
Here's 9, I think.
Because
they took a break right at the 8 episode mark. I don't understand how. And again, like Supergirl, when it comes back, it will be on until the week before Luke Cage drops. That's how long Supergirl is going to be on.
I won't be able to make it. I won't be able to make it if they keep up the quote unquote quality of the prior episodes.
And we didn't. Speaking of Supergirl, we didn't review Legends last week, but I'm amazed at how Sarah basically had a Livewire look, and it looked 100 times better.
It did.
Yep.
It really did. We are on episode. Okay, no, the episode of Flash airing on the 10th is episode 17, and there are 23 episodes in this season. I don't know how there are 6 episodes left.
So 2 of them will be good. It doesn't matter what order they're going to be, but 2 of them will be good, and the rest will be dog shit.
And here's what's going to happen. This is exactly what happened last time. They're going to stall, and they're going to stall, and they're going to stall, and they're going to wrap this whole fucking DeVoe thing up in 2 goddamn episodes.
Yep.
And Arrow's also 23 episodes, which is crazy to me. I don't understand that at all.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last episode of last season of Flash, this is how many things happen, because Erik, you haven't seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
They fight Savitar, Oh, that's right. Savitar goes to kill Iris. He doesn't kill Iris. It's
Right.
somebody else. And then, like, Savitar's like, fuck, my plan failed. And so he comes with a new plan. And then he kidnaps Cisco. And then Killer Frost turns a bad guy. And then she turns into a good guy. And then Savitar thinks he's a good guy. And then he's a bad guy again. And then fucking Jay shows up. Jesse shows up. Wally shows up. They fight Savitar. They kill Savitar. And then Barry goes into Speed Force. I'm like, this was... You could have stretched a little bit of this out.
Right.
Probably had a few of these things happen earlier.
Yeah, that all happened in 2 episodes. The episode before the finale is the one with Captain Cold, where he has to rob Killer Croc's jail cell, which is just now coming back to me.
Oh, King Shark.
Yeah. Did I say Killer Croc? Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever. Same fucking thing. You.
It is the same thing. It is the same thing, but they're not allowed to use the Suicide Squad. So.
Right. Yeah. And then, what is it? Yeah, I'm looking at the season right now, and it's just so stretched out. Like the Once and Future Flash, that's episode 19 of last season. 19.
You mean the episode where Barry's like, "Hey, tell me what Savitar's gonna do,"
Right.
and Future's like, "Nah."
And it takes them 2 more episodes before he figures out who Savitar is.
The audacity of those writers.
Well, I think.
Hey,
I
you're
think
me from the future. Tell me what's gonna happen. No.
No, but look at your new suit. It's so cool. It's just.
I think some of our issues too with Flash and with Arrow and especially Supergirl is that we have 2 other shows that reflect so much better upon them with Legends and Black Lightning, which I guess we should move on to Legends then before we just turn this into an hour and a half train of hate.
These shows across the board can't maintain a single collective run of consistency.
No.
There's 1 and now 2. They're good to great, and the rest just fucking fall through.
Yeah.
And they let it happen. And I think part of the problem is Black Lightning seems to have its own team altogether.
It does. It seems to be very self-managed. It doesn't seem to have much interaction with the rest of them, which might be the best thing in the future. And maybe bringing more people in.
The way I watch these shows is in a block generally. Like I'll watch one here and then I'll watch 2 or 3 at other times. But just watching Arrow or Flash and then watching Black Lightning, you can see the quality of writing in Black Lightning is on such a higher level than anything on the other shows at this point.
Yeah, because they haven't been doing it for 6 years.
True, but it's also a team that I feel like is confident in what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so frustrating because I really want to like these other CW shows, but they keep trying to make me dislike them, and they're succeeding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 2 years ago, I said Flash was my favorite show on television.
Same.
Now it makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I mean, I'm glad Legends is 2 seasons in a row pretty strong, I guess. That makes me happy.
And Legends just catches all the trash these shows toss off, and it grabs them and goes, "You're not trash. You're a beautiful, beautiful gem, and we're going to use you like one."
All right, so speaking of Legends, I was just going to say, since we didn't review the last episode, which was good, I wanted to ask, where the fuck is Constantine during all that? He's on the ship.
I don't know what happened there. I don't remember the episode very well.
No, they had to go get him.
Yeah.
But
no, because he came on the ship, though, after they got him. And then...
but he was on the episode prior to Sarah going live wire, I thought.
Yeah, but no, he comes and goes. He doesn't want to be on the he doesn't want to be on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, wait, I vaguely remember them saying, where's Constantine? I don't know. You figure it out.
Because I think Ava and Gary... Is it Ava?
Yeah,
Somebody
Ava and Gary.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
go get him. That's when he makes his Doctor Who joke.
Yeah,
You're
and
right.
then
Yep.
at the end he's playing D&D with Gary. Which,
Okay,
that was pretty good.
I was
pretty
thinking
good.
that happened in the episode prior to last one.
No, because Amazing Grace, the Elvis episode, is the episode before.
You're right. You're right.
Like, it's crazy. Like, Legends, every episode flows. And that's something I have to give them credit for. Like, every episode just flows so naturally into the next one, especially towards the end of the season. I feel like it takes them time to sort of build up to that. But, like, the last 4 episodes, they've all, like, they've just led into each other so well that I can't tell you necessarily what happened in each episode. I know that the Germany stuff is in one episode and it's a different episode, but if you told me that Ray blowing up that building was in the next episode, I would believe you. Like, that's just how well everything sort of meshes at this point.
However, this is the first time. Oh, excuse me. that I can lay a pretty heavy hit towards Legends because this Ava thing.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't understand this at all. Like,
Yeah, of all the directions they could have gone with what her secret origin is, this seemed to be the goofiest they could possibly choose.
It's so dumb and pointless. Where do you go with this?
I don't.
You're like, she's a clone. I'm like, and
That's it.
there's nothing nefarious about this.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like,
Yeah,
Also, here's the thing.
the way
You
Rip
guys
made
have-
it sound when he
Yeah, Rip
erased
made
her
it sound-
history.
Rip made it sound like it was a devastating truth bomb that no one should ever look at. And
Right.
now it's like, oh, she's a clone.
like it seemed like
Okay.
it should be on the level of River Song's reveal in what is it? The Good Man Goes to War or whatever, Connor, where like you find out that she's like this genetically bred like super soldier meant to kill the Doctor or whatever. Like it felt like
yes.
that kind of reveal, or something like that. Like she's a weapon created to kill Sarah specifically, and that's her only purpose. And that somehow Arthur Darvill knows that. No, she's just a clone, just a random clone. And it doesn't really matter who she is. I don't get it.
And like, there better be some decent payoff in the next two episodes, right?
Yeah.
yes,
I doubt
that's
it.
correct.
I doubt it, because 2 episodes isn't a whole lot of time.
I don't think
And
it's
they're
gonna
gonna-
matter. Like maybe
They're gonna
Malice
wrap
takes
up
her
Malice.
over. Like no, they'll
that's-
wrap it up in these next 2. I don't know how, but like I don't know. Like the next 2 episodes are called Guest Starring John Noble, which okay, guys, okay. And then The Good, the Bad, and the Cuddly, which all right.
Is Bebo coming
I
back?
think he is, which I approve
No.
of.
The strangest mainstay this show has ever produced is fucking Bebo.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, like it's so strange, but I think they'll be able to wrap it up in 2 episodes. Because if you had asked me last year, right before going into the World War I episodes, how they were going to wrap it up, I couldn't have told you how it was going to work and how everything was going to come together, but they did it. So I don't know. This will be interesting at least, because the plot summaries are: the Legends fix 2 anachronisms at the same time to keep Malice at bay and form an uneasy alliance with one of their enemies. It's Damian.
It's dark. Yeah, it's dark. It's
yeah,
totally dark.
Oh
Damian's...
shit, that's right. Dude, next week is Barack Obama and Grodd.
Oh god.
What?
Oh, that's right.
They get it to young Barack Obama.
Well, that's
And
a mighty big gorilla.
Hey, you're not stuffing my stuff there? It's very fragile. There's a gorilla in my apartment.
Cocaine?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember.
marble lights.
God
Stephanie,
damn.
Michelle, there's a gorilla in the apartment.
Our mostly
Wow, I
white
can't wait to watch that.
podcast is doing an Obama impression off, so that's a thing that we're doing now.
Can't wait.
But no, like I remember watching that trailer. That's the only one I watched, and it was like at the end, it was like Grodd is like Barack Obama, and I was.
I like how in the trailer it says Grodd, and then like it says Grodd, and then there were like some text. It's Grodd again.
So good, so good. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that, I guess.
Also, I made the joke in the chat, but so we had some heavy Kawasa stuff, and I like when she's put in imminent danger, and she's like, "I'll just turn to water now. I'll catch you later, bro." Sucks down a drainage pipe or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of wondering with saying that the next episode has them fixing 2 anachronisms. I'm wondering if this is gonna be finally where Zari is gone, like if she's done.
Yeah.
And am I like Zari? She's the one who currently has the.
Well, the finale is gonna be pretty stacked because Constantine's coming back and Jackson's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize Jackson was coming back. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna have a very bolstered roster for the finale.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be OP.
There's something about Wally with his new haircut that makes his suit look much less dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely noticed that.
Also, speaking of Legends being the safety net, my God, he's improved so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, like we
I'm
said.
the fastest man alive. You're the second fastest man alive. She did not need to know that. Or get your hands off that hard body.
So good. So good.
Sorry, that's better in my head.
that was something I'd mentioned in the chat just when I was watching that episode, is that somehow Wally doesn't look nearly as goofy when he runs as Barry does in The Flash. Which
That's
because he looks like here's the thing, and I figured this out because I just forgot to mention it. A lot of the close-up shots of Barry running are because he's running in place.
Yep.
On like a green screen, and there's things. This was a slow-mo shot of Keenan Lonsdale just running. That's all.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he was running, and then they accelerated it. So yeah.
It's also because he majored in fastonomics. So.
Right.
Yes,
as we learned.
He understands.
I like fast things.
Yeah, he understands the fine details of the fast.
Right.
Also, they need to explain how Malice could just be like, "Oh yeah, Speed Force."
Okay, so so what that makes me think is that there is a Speed Force totem, maybe, possibly, or the Speed Force is connected to his prison, somehow. I don't know, but that was weird. But I think that would make sense if Malice is able to do something like that, I guess. But they've done nothing to really set that up, I guess. That's the real problem with it. That's weird.
Speaking of bad makeup, though, we keep referencing Livewire. Damian's daughter.
Ooh. Yeah.
You gotta do something about that. Those fucking Halloween veins.
Yeah, she's it's very Frankenstein unbound there.
Oof. Yeah, I'm wondering if she's gonna end up dying and Damian's gonna be pissed again, or is it Damian's gonna die or they're both gonna die? I can't see either of them continuing after this.
I don't know. I'm fascinated by the line that Damian Dark has gone through over these shows, and I don't know how this ends in any way other than Damian dying again. And him dying for a good reason, like him dying as a hero. Because that's the only thing that really makes sense. Malcolm's arc didn't complete until Arrow last season, but his arc ended with him kind of being heroic. And Thawne's arc ended the way that Thawne's arc would be expected to end, with him evaporating into dust.
For the second time in a row.
Because that's the only way that story ends for him.
There's something about his expression, too, when he gets punctured by Black Flash, and he's like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, we're here again."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I've noticed with Damian in this season of Legends, is that he went from this, not even omnipresent, but just this terrible monster that like everyone is terrified of, and now he's just kind of a goofball.
Yep.
Like he uses his telekinesis, his whatever evil powers, like occasionally to be threatening, but most of the time he's just a goon, and it's weird to see like this is the big bad outside of Malice.
I think somebody in that writing room is like, Neil's pretty funny.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah,
he is.
Neil's a pretty funny guy. So.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it was inherently ridiculous that they had a huge fight scene at the end of the episode to Return to the Mac. It worked, but yeah, it just struck me as kind of odd that like, oh wait, I totally forgot that he's been a real goofball the last couple episodes we've watched.
Yeah, it's funny. We had Connor on here, the other Connor on here a few days ago.
Connor.
And he said, he mentioned that Legends to him looked like a DC's Avengers on TV, and that comparison feels kind of accurate because it maintains a certain level of fun and it's not afraid to kind of stay at that level.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
Its sense of humor is usually very consistent.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I've said this before, but Damian taking himself so seriously is what made him terrible in Arrow Season 4. It's one of the many reasons, but it's part of it is like he took himself so very seriously when he was doing obviously very goofy things. Like he would cackle, he would make a joke, he would kind of twist his mustache a little bit, but even though he didn't have one, but then he would be so serious for the entire rest of the show, whereas this Damian is just making jokes all the fucking time. And I think it's better that his character be kind of fun and having some levity with what he's doing. And just being crazy.
You would think being hundreds, if not thousands of years old, that at some point you'd just be like, this is just fucking ridiculous that I'm doing this. Let's just roll with it.
Yeah, it's like him swiping the up swipes. Still a great moment.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I was dying at the, torture just doesn't bring me the same kind of joy anymore. And Nate's like, let's just kill it. This will be a safe space between the two of us. Okay, put the cattle prod down.
So good. He's got the bat, and Nate is making fake screams or whatever. Like, I love it.
But yeah, I'm ready for the Molluster. You know what's funny is I don't think we're actually building up to a reveal.
No, we are.
No, I don't think we are.
I think John Noble's just a dude. He's just a guy. I don't think he really matters to anything.
I don't even know if we're gonna get a reveal of what Mollis looks like. I think it's just gonna be Damian's daughter is going to be the continued host of him.
Well, I guess John Noble actually is in the show at some point. Like he's gonna show up and he's gonna be John Noble. I'm wondering if it'll be before he became Mollis. That's maybe. The thing.
Okay, John Noble is the actor who's voicing Mollis from Fringe, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What if, and because it's Legends, what if Mollis possesses quote unquote John Noble's body?
The actor John Noble.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I would love that.
Malice is a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
Fuck.
He shows up. He's all Australian, and he's like, "Oh, hi guys." God damn it.
It would fit into everything you guys have told me about the way Legends work. So yeah, I kind of like that idea.
I'll say, in the George Lucas episode featured an actual trash compactor scene. So
yeah, it would be the best kind of like ha joke. Also, it goes with the title of John Noble as the guest star. So yeah, I actually want that now. If that's not the case,
like a comic book version of being John Malkovich.
Yes.
Or,
everyone's John Noble.
Or,
I need this
Song
right
of
now.
Susanna.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mick being twisted around by Zari was funny as shit.
Yes.
Him not understanding Ramadan.
Mick has not left the ship in like 4 episodes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And continues to just be this hilarious presence.
What if they did a whole episode from his point of view and he's slowly getting cabin fever?
Yes.
He's like going crazy. Or, well, crazier.
They gave him another ship in 6 weeks. I know. Everybody's just snart.
You just hear his internal monologue. I burned this yesterday. I must burn something else tomorrow. What will I do?
I'm wondering if he's slowly going insane from dehydration, too, because all we ever see is him drinking beer. And it might be liquid, but it doesn't actually have water in it that hydrates you.
I didn't even see him eat the burgers he cooked in this episode.
Nope.
He ate a hot dog. He did eat a hot dog last episode.
Wait, what if Mick has been dead the whole time?
He's just the ghost that got brought back by the Soul Stone.
Yes.
Oh, and Kuwasa died, but I didn't care.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
because they did nothing to make Kuwasa a likable character over this whole season, which I guess is a criticism I would have. Is like they didn't make her relatable at all. She was just bad.
I really like the very heavy-handed attempts to not show modern day Vixen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was that was enjoyable. The fact that they just couldn't even show a shot of her, because I'm sure she's a well-noted actress. If you look her up, and I'm sure they could have like gotten a shot from another hospital show and just used that.
Well,
yeah.
they've shown with Black Lightning that they know how to do burn effects really well, so they could have just had anybody in a burn effect on her face because, you know.
You mean get a mannequin from the store and
Yes.
put some burn
melt a candle over it. Yes.
Yeah, just melt some mushrooms on top of it. Marshmallows. God damn it.
Did we miss anything on Legends? Because otherwise, I think we can go to Black Lightning.
I think that's basically it.
About it. Yeah.
Poor James Remar, get the fuck beat out of him this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, we all kind of knew that was coming based on how much they've been slowly introducing his notorious background and how the ASA is still a part of the world that he's in.
Yeah, Peter Cole's father, he's a real dick. Clearly.
That's where I saw. God damn it.
Well, that wasn't his dad. You mean his uncle?
No, it is his uncle. Yeah. He's the.
Which I noticed that he looked super pale in comparison to Gamby when he had him tied up to the chair. Maybe it was just the weird lighting, but
yeah.
he looked like a corpse.
I was to say he looked very puffy.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean,
that was something I forgot to mention. We talked about Arrow. Was Roy stung by a jellyfish or something? Why is he like? Is he having some kind of reaction?
Well, no, so we talked about this on the last Arrow review, or last time we talked about Arrow. Like, he either bulked up or he just got fat. One or the other. He might have just got fat because he did get married. And I know that that's a thing that happens. So I don't know, but that's
there was a point where I was like, his face looks very round.
It does. It looks incredibly round. Yeah.
Not really a criticism, but it's just kind of humorous. It's like the last time I saw him, it's like this is fucking twig, and see him again. It's like, Jesus, what have you been doing? Nothing but eating fucking hamburgers every day?
Yeah, because like I know him from Teen Wolf. That's where I first saw him, and like you see pictures of him from that. He's
Teen Wolf is your Smallville.
No, it's not my Smallville. It's my Teen Wolf. Thank you.
It's like Teen Wolf is my Teen Wolf. Okay, goddammit.
But no, like that's just where I know him from, and that's a show that like so many CW people have been on. And so many CW people have started on there. It's pretty crazy. I'm surprised, and I said this on Twitter, that Tyler Posey hasn't been cast as Timberwolf yet, because like they just keep on taking cast members from one show to the other.
Actually, it's funny you mention that because whilst watching these episodes today, like CW's been throwing up ads for stuff that's going on to CW Seed. Mm-hmm. There are shows I didn't know existed featuring actors from all of these shows. Like, what was that god-awful looking show with the actor who plays Ralph?
Oh, the zombie show?
Holy shit.
Where he plays a robot?
That looks abysmal.
Here's the thing. It looks amazing, actually, to me. It looks insane.
It looks fucking horrid.
It does, but in the best way. Yeah. No, but I'm never going to watch it, but...
It's probably going to CWC because it probably lasted a season and was fucking dumped.
Well, no, I guess it's an ongoing series, and it's the thing of like having a streaming channel as your backup thing is a thing now. But yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but it's about a guy who's a virgin, and it's the zombie apocalypse has happened, and his mission in life is to repopulate the earth. And he finds this robot who is supposed to be like a zombie killer, and they go on a quest to undo his virginity or whatever.
This sounds like a
Oh, I
script
thought
by
you
a
were going to say he was
13-year-old.
going to fuck the robot, because I was going to be real confused for a
Well, no,
minute
because
there.
Well, the robot's Ralph.
Yeah, it's Ralph.
Well, yeah, I know, but that's why I was going to be real confused for a minute there.
No, like I just remember a bit from the trailer where, like, he's about to get in bed with this girl, and then a zombie just rips her off of her and eats her. I'm like, okay.
Yep, that's the thing that happened.
This all sounds like things I would want to watch, but I worry that the CWC would not want to.
Yeah, but you got to remember, like, it's the budget that they didn't have for the regular CW shows.
Yeah.
It's like not even 1/5, 1/10 the budget of what we're used to
so
seeing on CW.
it's like how much I make in a month is how much they spent on this show.
Yeah, most
Jesus.
likely.
Speaking of other CW shows, before we get back to Black Lightning, the more they keep hitting me with ads for iZombie, the more I actually watch it.
Do not care.
That show lost me so quickly. I think I made 3 episodes in before I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't need this at all. So yeah.
I've always wanted to check out the comic because Allred, if I remember correctly, did the art on it, but
right.
Nah, no thanks. I'll pass.
Saving the Human Race, by the way, that's the name of this zombie show that is made in Norway.
Oh,
you know what? I believe that because there's a lot of outdoor shots where I'm like, that's not Canada.
Yep.
Too many open fields.
But yeah,
Black Lightning was again great.
Yeah. It continued the storyline. It was strong.
Yeah. What's going on with Lala now having a different tattoo person on his chest?
I don't know. The Lala stuff is the most fascinating thing to me. That's the stuff that I'm like, okay, I want this show to just continue on, but as the Lala show, because I would watch that.
He ripped a dude's ear off.
He did. It was so crazy. It was so weird. Oh God, I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, like, there's so many weird things. Like, Lala has super strength now because he came back from the dead.
Sure, and he's got a lady on one side of his chest and a dude on the other. Like, I'm really hoping they're going to take the idea of the I guess the guy's name is the Tattooed Man, something along those lines.
Maybe.
And we had talked about it before. Like, he is a character that exists within DC Comics, but I don't know if that's who they're going with. But if they are going with that, I hope they're just going to go really weird with it instead of just, hey, I got these tattoos that I can bring to life to fight for me. Like, it seems like that's the direction they're going, if that's even the character they're basing him on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's very weird. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm kind of into it now. Like, all in. Yeah, I don't know. This show, it keeps on showing new aspects of itself, and I keep on being more and more interested in it. So yeah, I don't know. Like, also, I think it helps that I knew nothing of Black Lightning before the show even aired. So, like, even The Flash, like, I knew Reverse Flash, and I knew Barry Allen, and I knew that he had, like, other people that he would usually hang out with. I knew he was a cop. You know, I knew the basics of Green Arrow. Legends is a new thing completely. This show I just have no context for. The closest thing to this I have is Static Shock, and this is so completely different from that.
No, it's definitely not Static Shock.
No, it's not. Static Shock fans, it's not. Please stop asking for a Static Shock show because you're making me resent the character.
To be completely honest with you, like, it's not like Black Lightning has ever had a huge comic presence. He's existed in other people's stuff and had guest spots.
Cool as shit.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's also never been as cool as he is in this show. He had moments of greatness, like in Final Crisis, he was pretty good, and there's been a few other places I've seen him that he was good. But yeah, he's never had, like, from my knowledge, character development like this, and just like strength of stories like this. And it's great to see.
I was gonna add that, like Arlen said, like before Flash, like, I didn't read the Flash. I was aware of him, and I kind of like the character. And honestly, it was Tom Cavanaugh's fucking role as the Reverse Flash that made me go, I need to read this.
Hmm.
I was like, because this villain is super cool. And then I dove into the comics and was like, holy shit, I love every part of this. But then I actually realized that, like, I think I came to this discovery recently. One of my first major comic book memories was I rented Crisis on Infinite Earths from a library. And of all the things going on in that book, Barry's death is the one thing I remember the most.
And that was one of the huge ones too at the time, because I mean Barry didn't come back into the DC universe until
22 years or something like that.
Yeah, something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
So I feel like that was sort of meant to be. But with Black Lightning, like, the show has kind of endeared me to the character, and then they put him in Injustice 2. And I was like, holy shit, he's so cool.
Yeah. The only thing that would have been cooler for that would have been if they would have actually gotten the actor who plays him to do the voice work for it.
I wish they would do more of that, because with the first Injustice, they got Stephen Amell to come in and voice the alternate costume of Green Arrow.
Yeah. And it wouldn't take that much dialogue either, because it's not like you can play him in the story mode or anything. So
exactly.
Yeah, just here, we need you in here for a day, like not even a day, for like 4 hours. All right, cool. Here's your like $15,000 buy.
Yeah. Here, come and record an hour of dialogue. That's it.
Yeah. And you can do it over the phone now. Like Jeff Goldblum did his entire role in Isle of Dogs over the phone. So like, there's not really an excuse anymore, other than studios not wanting to pay. So
Chef, when he was doing Isaac Hayes was on South Park, he recorded all of his lines independently and sent them to Trey and Matt.
Huh.
Like, I don't think he was ever actually in the studio, because they didn't need him to. They're like, nah, just record it, send it to us. He's like, okay. And then he was like, I quit.
You made fun of Scientology. When I was watching Black Lightning, the scene between Jefferson and his ex-wife, when he was talking about his electric vision and whatnot,
started off really silly and then ended very amusingly.
and it just, for me, like, that right there showed the strength of the writing on the show, because it didn't come across as ridiculously goofy or hokey or anything like that. It
wait a second,
seemed natural.
You mean she was like, electric vision? And he was like, I don't know how I'm doing this.
Yeah, that and just the interaction between them, it seemed very real. Like, it worked. Like, it seemed like a couple that still harbors feelings for each other, but they're not together for whatever reasons at this point.
He's walking away and she's like, are you undressing me with your eyes? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
She's like, I know you're looking at me. I can see you. And he just laughs and walks off. Yeah. There's not much to say. Just the show just continues to impress me. Like, I have yet to watch an episode where I'm like, that was okay.
Yeah.
Also, they dropped the word metahuman.
They did. They've done that before, but this is the first time it's been like prominent, which was interesting. And like with that whole electric vision thing, what I love about it is it's rooted in like real human like interaction. Like, it feels very genuine. You could change the word electric vision to just them talking about, like, I don't know, an ache in his back or something like that. Like, you could change it into just about anything and it would still work. And their chemistry would still work. Which is something that I think the casting on the show is very strong.
It is
something that I'm enjoying more and more as we go on.
I'm a big fan of his Vanessa now, like her fucking role. And those two, they fight together in a very interesting way.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, so good.
Because he's like if we're to like put him in like video game terms, like he by all definition should be a tank. Like, he's a monstrous man who uses lightning. Like, he should be like physically dominating and very imposing. And he is like,
his abilities naturally let him absorb damage.
Yeah, and like instead he's like an AoE projectile range character, and his daughter, who's half his size, is the one who absorbs damage and just wrecks people. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's something we didn't get to touch on because we didn't review the episode that she got her costume, but her costume looks great.
I love her costume.
Yeah. Like, that's something else with this show. Like, Black Lightning's costume is great. Like her costume looks phenomenal. Like
Yeah,
I'm actually more
and
impressed
nobody
with
looks
hers.
like they're walking around just like discarded leather that just died.
Exactly. Like it actually looks like it has a purpose.
I'm sorry, but like was there just like a fucking like a truck full of leathers that just tipped over? And CW was like, take these, start stitching shit into them, and dye them different colors.
Yep.
Yeah,
Seems to be the
obviously.
case.
Everything's got a fucking zipper.
Oh,
It
and here's
does.
like 15 trench coats. Go ahead, Legends. Do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, it does get old a little bit. But I don't know. I'm the one who says Ray shouldn't be in that suit anymore. He should just be in like a black trench coat. But that's my personal aesthetic. Yeah, it gets a little bit old, and like seeing Black Lightning is in like a movie level suit. And like that action scene with Thunder, that gave me like Civil War vibes. Like that opening action scene when they're going after Rumlow. In terms of like how coordinated they were, and like how just well their abilities complemented. Complemented each other, and just like every move felt thought out and plotted well, and that was something that I really enjoyed as well. And yeah, it's like it's just a really smart show, and the other shows should take the example. I think really, because this is how I felt when the first season of Flash was on the air, and when the second season of Arrow was on the air. It's that same thing of wow, this is a really good show with a compelling narrative, and I'm excited to see what they do next. So yeah.
There's not many episodes of Black Lightning left, I don't think either.
No, there's I had it up, but I'll check again. But
there are 3 more episodes left.
Yeah, it's gonna be over soon.
And then Supergirl's back. Oh.
Porn Sauron, she's coming back in 4 weeks. Odette Eastman killing what's left of her career.
I mean, would you be surprised if we never saw her again after this?
I wouldn't be. I'm surprised after... What was the one where... Was it The Unborn? That's the David Goyer movie?
Yes.
I like parts of that movie, but most of it's pretty stupid.
Where it's...
Oh, the one that the cover of it was just her butt in underwear?
Is that... yeah, that was one of the covers.
There's a lot of weird over-sexualizations of Odette Yustman in that movie.
Oh, really?
Like when the creepy ghost boy is like, there's a scene where like the creepy ghost kid is like supposed to be implying that he's trying to kind of like put a ghost seed in her or something like that, but it looks like he's straight up going to cop a feel. Like he's moving her shirt up. I'm like, this is weird. And there is, however, a lot of cool jump scares and some fucking weirdo practical effects in that movie.
She's come so far from Cloverfield.
Yeah, so has everybody from.
Lizzie Kaplan.
Yeah, she's
actually done okay. Yeah,
that is a crazy movie to go back and watch and be like, I don't know any of these people. None of them.
Yeah.
They're all ghosts to me now.
Well, T.J. Miller. T.J. Miller, he went so far, and then yeah.
And then there was a term I used from the RBR Wrestling podcast. Do you mean the allegations?
Yeah.
Right.
You're talking about I didn't do it, man.
Yeah.
Your face looks like an avocado. Fucked another avocado.
Wow.
I did like Deadpool, but yeah, his career is probably over after Deadpool too. Yeah, Black Lightning is great. God, I'm looking forward to Supergirl.
Oh, one last thing with Black Lightning though. How in the hell did his youngest daughter not burn all of her clothes off when she flared up, yet she was able to just burn
the
a pillow?
Same reason that Barry no longer burns his shoes or clothes when he runs.
Okay. Because my wife asked that when we were watching it, and I'm like, that's a really good question. I didn't even think about that.
There's a season 1 moment between Barry and Felicity that, first of all, goddamn you writers for not putting those two together. Those two were adorable together. Barry shows Felicity, like, she's like, I don't believe you. He's like, see the top of that building? I'm gonna go there right now. he runs up there, runs back, and he's like impressed. She's like, your shoes are on fire.
Yeah.
And whatever
Also,
comics.
I think one of the first times Barry ran, his clothes all burned off.
They did. That's a thing that happened. That's why he has the suit, because it's like a prototype fireman suit, which years later doesn't quite make sense because
it no longer matters because while he runs around without his suit, all over the way, right?
It does. Well, yeah, actually, using that logic, like in the courtroom scene when he was vibrating at such a fast speed that he was out of tune with everyone else's time,
he would have destroyed that room.
Beyond that, he would have destroyed all of his clothes and all of Iris's. So, like, they would have popped back in and they would have been completely naked or at least covered in charred clothing.
They come back like, what happened?
Nothing.
Zoom, he's back. Hey, he ran in here and stole our clothes.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he would do such a thing.
God damn it. So I just found something on Tumblr. I don't know why.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But this is it's in our wheelhouse.
Tumblr quite obvious to look at things.
But I put it in the messenger, but this came up and it's pretty good. It's
good. What am I gonna look at?
Oh god, just the preview image. Oh no.
What the hell?
It looks like something is happening.
Wait a second. What did they do with Chris Evans' head? This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
That's wonderful. Because the still shot.
John Kent tornado bit.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
All right. I thought that was going someplace very different.
Well, with Tumblr, it could have, but...
Well, especially if
Tumblr is both a cesspool of horrible fans and creeps, or it's like on the occasion you come across these little treasure troves of brilliance.
Yeah.
Like some of those Tumblr posts that people share, like little Tumblr threads, are some of the hardest times I've ever laughed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when someone's like, it's like historical jokes or some shit like that. Because Tumblr is a place where a bunch of history nerds hang out and just make jokes about Caesar.
It's really good. It's
fucking fest.
God damn it. Yeah, if you just look up a bottle of Caesar Ranch, you'll get the best things ever. Oh, God, it's so good.
That's the one I saw. It was a bottle of Caesar Ranch with a knife sticking out of it. And everyone's just like, and someone's like, I don't get it. And someone was like, don't explain it to him.
Okay.
Oh, Eric, did you finish Assassin's Creed Origins?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, obviously not Arlen. No, because I started playing something else at the time, and then got sucked into Monster Hunter, and then got sucked into Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and then I've been sucked into the Surge. So yeah, I have a real problem with starting games, getting really far, getting into them, and then being like, hey, what's this new shiny thing?
Yeah, I've had that problem too, and I've been trying to fix it. That's why I sat down and was like, I'm finishing Origins today.
Yeah, I need to, because I know I'm close to the end.
Yeah, you are, because it involves Caesar, and it involves...
Oh, okay.
I mean, everyone knows what happened to Caesar. It involves his death.
Okay. I mean, I'm at the point where, I know I'm pretty close to the end, but I need to go kill those war elephants, because those sons of bitches need to die.
Oh my god, I haven't done that yet. I went to New Game Plus.
Oh, jeez. No, I need to kill those elephants before I go to New Game Plus.
Madman. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we can wrap.
Yeah, nothing else to say. Tight show.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Hey, CW, why don't you fix your shit? Yeah, this year is you're gonna be dominating the worst of in the zonies this year, I think.
Yeah, probably. Because Netflix has been killing it. So.
Yeah.
Unless someone's like, "Hey, Gotham's a thing," I'll be like, "Hey, shut up." No, it isn't.
Well, according to Chloe, it's good, but
yeah, I mean,
I see. I give Chloe a pass because she's a fucking unflappable optimist.
Yeah.
So I don't like raining on her parade.
Same.
She's like, everything's awesome. I'm like, you go, girl. Like,
yeah, we're not gonna squash that sunflower. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Where are we going with this? Are we trying to get out of the show? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we are.
I think
yeah.
we were. Anyway, that was it. So, yeah. Bye, everybody. I don't want to plug anything. Y'all know where I am.
AA Haro Lost Haro podcast. Rocky.
Oh, wait. Actually, I did say at the beginning of this episode, House of the Dead episode is out for Movie Dumpster. Please go listen to how fucking bitter and upset we are that we had to watch that.
Yeah.
Erik_Fedor Instagram food stuff. And you can find me floating somewhere deep in the outer limits of the space-time continuum.
Lead line DVDs.
Turning the frogs gay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Fuck X-Men Apocalypse.